Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to part 2 of this collab. So, brief, I'm just going to say what I've been doing over the past week or so. I'm surprised that I released this update, part 2, a day earlier than usual. What I've been doing pretty much is, I've been trying to build these two units, obviously. Most of all, I've been using Stahn to begin with. I've been trying him out and Arena is pretty good, but I've noticed his skill 1 is not as reliable as certain units that we've got. I haven't really built Luke yet, but I do plan to do that. I can do it, it's just I haven't felt like doing it yet, but I'll do that at some point. But anyways, the main purpose of this stream, obviously part 2, got another units and another arc, so in total this collab has 3 arcs and 3 units, which is, I feel like the arcs are the main thing in terms of limited collabs that have new arcs. They're usually ones that you want to get just in case, because they're collab of unique skills and stuff. Let's have a look at the unit first. So Yuri, I wasn't sure of what he's going to be, but I've had a little look at him. He seems decent, but I'm not 100% sure how I think of him yet. But I can see him being somewhat useful, but I just got to try and test him out later today, hopefully. I'm really hoping we get lucky today, because I don't want to spend much as long as we get lucky. So let's have a look at the unit first. This stream isn't going to be as long as the part 1 stream, because there's only 1 unit to cover and 1 arc. But we'll see how things go. But I expect it's not going to be as long. It's probably be a normal 2-hour stream. So Yuri, I think he's more of a popular character, I don't know, but I think he is, at least what I've heard. He's probably a more popular character, but I don't know. I don't know much about the series. So stats looking pretty average, good stats. Absolute resistance, since he is going to be an Earth DPS unit, he does have -22 fire, which is expected. +25 to thunder, and +10 to dark, it's okay. Resistance to stun and curse is what you like to see on a physical DPS unit, so that's pretty good. Weakness to illness is whatever, really, but it's pretty nice. And what resistance is and stats and whatever. So skills, I don't know how I feel about his skills yet, but he does have an instantly close the gap skill 3, which is good. So that's gonna give him some, you know, way to get right in the battle and use a skill 3, but skill 3 is more difficult to get than like a skill 1. Like Luke has a close the gap skill 1, which is pretty good. So Yuri's skill 1 is pretty similar to other units that we got, and especially Stahn. Their skill 1s are kind of similar, but Yuri's skill 1 is only 5 hits, I believe, and it looks kind of similar. But since it's going to be a dual wield, it's going to double the amount of hits, so it's going to be, I'm pretty sure skill 1 is 5 hits, and it's going to be 10 hits with dual wield, which is okay. It's nothing crazy, but I think Stahn's skill 1 is 7 hits, so it's not as good as Stahn's skill 1, I think, but it's okay because it's a long range attack. We've seen a lot of those lately. Skill 2 is interesting. Medium area earth combo attack that launches enemies into the air. Could be fun. I don't think it's definitely not as good as Stahn's skill 2, because I've been enjoying Stahn quite a bit, especially in Arena, trying him out. I found his skill 2 to have decent range, where as long as you're right in front of the enemy or in line of sight of the enemy, you can jump right into the enemy, and it's pretty good. It's got some decent range to it, so I like Stahn's skill 2, but I haven't really seen much of his skills yet, so we're gonna have to see that. Skill 3 might be pretty good. I don't know what his DPS potential is going to be like, but we'll have to try that out later on. Now his special is quite interesting. I don't know about you, but when I heard this, there's some skills in here that you'll see that's going to change this a bit, but his special is, I don't know how to think about it. It's kind of strange. It's a powerful earth attack to all enemies. Damage cap 150,000, right? Here's the thing, is that it's a 1-hit special, so it's 1 hit against all enemies. Now you're going to think, oh, 150,000 damage to all enemies is terrible. It is, but he's got a skill that will go about, I might as well show it now. He's got a skill in here somewhere. Somewhere over here. This one that increases special damage by 100% and damage cap by 1000. As long as you have the OL buff, which we'll talk about in a minute. So that basically means it's going to have 1.5 mil damage cap. Now that is okay, it's nothing crazy because we've seen better, we've seen a lot better than that, but that's still something, and it's quite funny just to see huge numbers, even though it's only one hit. Kind of reminds me of Logzea's skill 3 in a way, because it kind of looks like the same animation, or a similar animation, but it's only one hit, and you need to have that OL buff active, which is a problem, a bit of a problem. Let's go over that now. So trait 1 is a lot of words. I'm just going to make it simple. Basically, when you're using a skill, it fills the OL gauge, and I had a look at what Tweaks was doing. He did a bit of testing with that, and figured out that each skill gives a certain amount of points towards the OL gauge, and I think it's 1, 2, 3 for each skill. So skill 3 will give 3 points, and so on. So you've got to use quite a lot of skills to even get a level, because you need 8 points to get 1 level, and here it's got up to 4 levels. So I don't know how I think about this trait, because it kind of requires a lot of spamming skills, but if you can be able to spam skills, and quite a lot of them, which you might be able to, then maybe it's still going to be pretty good. But I don't know how I think about this trait 1 yet, because it's kind of requires a lot of setup, a lot of spam skills, and just requires way too many skills to spam to be able to reach that level 4. And that level 4 buff is going to be active for like, I don't know, 20 seconds or so, I think. I'm just going to guess that number, which isn't very long, but if you look down here, when you're at level 4 you get 30% damage and 12,000 damage cap, less damage taken, buff duration plus 10 seconds, and fully restores all skills SCT. It's pretty good, right? The only problem is you've got to reach level 4, which is quite difficult to do, because you've got to spam a lot of skills to be able to do something like that. So I don't know how I feel about the trait 1 yet. A tiny bit disappointed, but at the same time I can see the potential there for some high damage, and level 4 is pretty strong, but the only problem is you need to be able to reach that level 4, which you might not be able to in most situations unless you have access to like Honey Elixir and Goddess Kiss or Purple Orb and stuff like that, so you can actually spam skills really fast. So that's basically this trait 1. It's interesting. I'll have to do more testing on that, but maybe if he spams skills really fast it could be decent enough, and I don't know yet. But trait 2 is pretty good. I kind of like this trait 2, kind of what we expect. 50% earth damage, and damage cap 14,000 is pretty high, because just dual wield unit. 14,000 damage cap on a trait is just amazing. Probably one of the highest for a dual wield unit that we've got on a trait, at least. And some more interesting stuff here. While unit is alive, all other allies' physical damage taken minus 10%. So he can kind of use as a support, because everyone else in the team is going to take less physical damage, so I can see that being useful for like Arena, but I don't know how good he's going to be for Arena, because I have no idea, I haven't tested him, don't know anything about Arena yet. I don't expect him to be that good in Arena. Hey, how's it going? We only just started, so kind of good timing really. I personally like testing out a lot of units in Arena, especially new units in particular, like Stahn. I personally like him in Arena, it's just he's not reliable. His skill 1 kind of just disappears and goes nowhere. I don't know what happens to skill 1 sometimes, it's just kind of annoying. But I'm going to try out Yuri in Arena once having fully built, but I don't have any high expectations. It's just that he does have some support capabilities in this trait too, like everyone else taking less damage, even though it's only 10%, it's whatever. Yeah, he basically has to have a good skill 1. I personally think that Arena's only really going to be suitable for units that have long range skills, because any units, if you think of any unit, like I haven't used Luke in Arena yet because he doesn't have a long range skill, so I don't bother, because I know he's going to die instantly. I know he has a close the gap skill 1, but he's just going to suicide into everyone and just die, so yeah, it's kind of been a thing. Who was the first unit that kind of enforced that? I would probably say Roy, unless there was a unit before that that kind of did a similar thing. Because I was thinking that there's Melee that had a long range skill 1, but I didn't see anyone spam her skill 1 for Arena, and I tried it out recently. It wasn't that amazing, it wasn't as good as I was thinking. I think the single wheeled units, especially right now, are doing quite a lot of damage in arena. Whenever I try a dual wheeled unit on certain units, I just feel like it's quite underwhelming. And units like Lenius in arena, when he has those double hits for magic, I just feel like it's not enough, because that damage decrease that he gets from double hits is just makes it terrible. That's what I feel on most units. So the rest of this trait, I think it's could be useful too. When that ally is incapacitated, very great restore unit HP, give a strength defense into mine plus 50% buff, and restore 1 skill stock for 1 skill. Yeah, dual wield's definitely falling off, which is kind of I kind of like that really, because it's changing the meta up a bit, and we're seeing a lot more single wield units, which is, I kind of like them because they're pretty strong. They're pretty good. So my question, it does say very greatly restore unit HP. It doesn't say ally HP or whatever, so what I'm understanding is when an ally dies, the Yuri gets that buff and restores HP, but if it happens to a different unit, if it happens to that ally, that doesn't make sense though, because the ally dies, so obviously they can't get the buff because they're dead, so that makes more sense to me. It's okay, I don't really expect it to do very much for Yuri. It's kind of, if you think about it, it's a bit stupid, because an ally dies and you restore HP and get a buff, but ideally you want to get that buff and restore HP whenever you are at low HP, because if you're when someone dies on your team and you're already at max HP, it's not going to do very much. Yeah, so I guess it's okay. He does get a skill stock, 1 SCT. It's okay, I can see it being useful for like arena. It's once per wave, so it's whatever. I mean, I do like having more support skills, but it's nothing crazy. So these traits are okay. I mean, I like trait 2. Trait 1 is kind of a lot of words that I'm not going to read all of it, but you kind of understand it. Now, skills. There's some good skills here, especially when I watched the video. I was quite impressed with what skills he has, and I'm surprised he has Human Buster, which kind of, any unit that has a Human Slayer or Human Buster skill, you know that they're probably going to be good in arena, but if they have Human Slayer and they're not good in arena, then it's confusing, because where else would you use them really? Because most hard bosses are not going to be a human type, are they? I mean, I know certain enemies are, but most bosses are like dragons or gods or something at this point, you know. So for this reason, I really want to try him in arena for skill 1 spam, just because he has Human Buster, but I know for sure that Vaughn or Vayne is going to be a better overall unit to use for arena. He's just very good. He's too good. So over limit is here again. We've seen it on Luke, I believe. He's got over limit and it only goes up to 1 level. So Yuri is kind of like a change Luke in a way with his over limit buff. It's interesting. Yeah, because I think Melee has Human Slayer, right, and she's not that great in arena unless you can. She still needs a lot of damage, and that's because she's focused on elements, and she's also dual wield, so that kind of has a problem with that. So over limit is here again. Kind of need this. When using a skill, can't be interrupted by most attacks. It goes well with this trait 1, but again, you've got to use so many skills. We'll try that out later, but you've got to use so many skills to even get over limit level 1. You've got to use like 2 skill 3s and a skill 2 to at least get 1 level, I think. And if you think about that, or use 8 skill 1s and you get 1 level, it's, you know, it requires a lot of skills. Now here's the interesting thing. Here's what could make up for all that. He has Ether Burst. You know what this means? This is actually a honey elixir that he already has. So that's amazing, because we know how good that is, and we know that's good on literally every unit in the game, almost, as long as they're not a mage. It's pretty good. So all he needs right now is Goddess Kiss and some good weapons and stuff, and he's going to do very well because he's got Ether Burst, which is basically honey elixir. I'm going to have to try that out. I want to know the casting speed and stuff, but it's probably pretty fast, I'm expecting. Because I know Honey Elixir and Apple Pie has some casting speed, but I haven't tried it out, but this could solve a few problems with not being able. You have to spam a lot of skills to be able to activate any of his levels for his trait 1 to use over limit. So this could make up for it and allow for him to do a lot more. Yeah, I like new ideas, new gimmicks and stuff, and new buffs, but when they do it like this, where it's really difficult to get those buffs, and especially in the scenario of Yuri, it's quite difficult to get the level 4 buff. It's just kind of, it just feels bad. I think they did overlimit better on Luke. I feel like, that's what I feel like at the moment, but I'm not 100% sure yet because I haven't really tried it. So let's go back to skills. Fighting Spirit 5, I like it. It's gonna have some good stats probably. Heroism up 2, critical up 2, advanced aim vitals, Proud Force. Proud Force good. Those messages should disappear, don't worry. Proud Force, I like Proud Force. And some crit ups. It's okay. Illusion's good. Human Buster we talked about with special boost is. I like special boost with a Slayer. We've seen that on quite a lot of units, but it's, you know how good that is. Yeah, well, I do have a Nightbot set up, so it should automatically do it, but I don't know. I've never really thought about mods or anything, because I don't know. If I were to do this more often, maybe, and if I even knew people that would take up that would take the time to do that, maybe, but I haven't really thought about it personally. So I see Auto Brave, Auto Speed, and Auto Haste. All of these three pretty good to have, especially on a physical DPS. More speed, more strength, haste. It's pretty good. Gale Force, more SCT recovery speed. So I kind of understand now what they're going with. They're going with more SCT recovery speed and even more. And you've also got this to you know, get more SCT. Makes sense now, actually. Makes a lot of sense. Earth High Drive, more damage. He doesn't have Earth Mega Drive, but don't worry about that, because it's on a limited arc that you have to pay for unless you get lucky. So I know what they're doing. They're putting a skill that this unit would do very good with, but they put it on an arc instead. It's stupid, they do that sometimes. I know. Makes the unit even better. That's the one reason why I want that arc, but we'll go over that later. Earth Attack Raise 2 and Earth Attack Raise 3, Earth Critical Raise. Pretty nice skills. Bless Speed. So it does have some good speed with Auto Speed and Bless Speed, so that should be good. Triple Impact, I don't know why. Triple Impact, but I guess you take it, it's whatever. He's not really a normal attacking unit, is he? Dual Wield, it's good. Sword High Boost, Mega Boost, yeah, expected stuff. All of these three units are based on swords. Some people don't like that, but at least it makes it easy to build them. And we have a lot more skills related to swords, so we can make them even stronger. I guess that's the argument I'm making. Ultimate boosts, power specials, whatever. I mean, he does have an okay special, kind of needs some of those if he wants to hit damage cap on that, probably. Quick trigger, kind of like that. Especially when you get a skill 3 at the start, it's pretty useful. But it's random. Decoy, love it. I love decoy, especially for arena. Having more revives, pretty useful. Giant Killing 2, I do like seeing this too. Sleeping Lion, when close to death, very great restore HP, increase movement speed, strength, 100% SCT recovery speed, 50%. So I didn't really know what this skill did, but it is pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Close to death, you restore HP, get more movement speed, more strength, and SCT recovery speed. So that's even more SCT recovery speed, but at the same time, you have to be close to death for that to even happen, so just kind of think of it like an awaken or something. It's just a bonus that you get more HP. Yeah, you got to be pretty lucky with all of these, any type of gachas. It's just, don't rely, don't expect anything. Good thing about this is you could stack on awaken if you want. You could put awaken on as well, which I like awaken for arena quite a lot. Now this skill we've already talked about. It's interesting. Quite interesting. It allows a special to do a lot more damage. You kind of need this. What I am thinking of is Alice. She has the Cyber Slayer or whatever buff that gives more special stuff, special damage, damage cap. This is kind of similar, where you have to have a buff active to be able to, for your special to do damage, because yeah, it's quite funny. It's quite funny. 1000 damage cap. It's not as crazy as sound because it's only one hit, but I'm gonna try it out later anyway because I think it's fun. I don't know how fun it's gonna be, but it's mostly just an animation and then one hit and then you're done. But big numbers, that's all it is. Fatal Strike, chance for physical attacks to insta-kill. That's pretty useful. I do like that, mostly just for maze and any stages really that don't have bosses. In arena or against bosses and other no insta-kill enemies, physical damage 20% and minus 10% defense. It's pretty good. I do like that, so that can be useful in arena too. And chance for insta-kill normal enemies. Pretty nice. I do like that. Assassin is pretty nice too. Basically like an improved special boost, I would say that. You get 30% damage and 2000 damage cap against human types. So it's not really the same, but it's kind of like a Slayer in a way, because you get more damage and damage cap against that specific type. But that does limit damage and damage cap to those enemies specifically, so there's kind of a little bit of a problem, but not really. It's just a little bonus, think of it like that. Maybe for arena could be good enough, I don't know. I don't know how much damage he requires to be good, but I assume quite a lot. And you got a final skill, boost OL buff duration by 20%. Okay. OL buff active, physical damage cap 2000. Yeah, I wouldn't say better, I'll just say it's kind of similar in a way, because, well, it's more similar to like a Slayer. Basically a Slayer, but less damage and gives damage cap instead, pretty much. So, here's what I'm seeing, is he's got a trait 2 for 14,000 damage cap. Yes, that's a lot of damage cap, but he has a lot of conditional damage caps in his skills and in his traits, so that's a little bit of a problem, because some of it is required to hit human type enemies, and this has to have the over limit buff active to be able to get more damage cap, and you know, you gotta hit, you know, you've gotta have over limit buff. So it's a bit conditional, which is a problem, but if you can have the over limit buff active and hit human enemies, then it's probably going to do a lot of damage. I can see that. But I don't know how good it's going to be. I'm going to have to try it out. But personally, it seems okay. I don't know how good he's going to be because I need to test him out, but I don't know how he's going to compare to the other two units in this collab so far, because I haven't tested him, but I personally feel like Luke is better than I expected, so when he has his double, well, his extra hits from his buff, it's pretty crazy. So Yuri won't compete with when he has those buffs active and they activate randomly. Yuri requires more setup, I feel like, but he can use a sword and Trishula if you want, so that's an option. It just means his normal attacks, one of the light attacks, not going to do very much, compared to if you were to have two earth weapons. Yeah, I think Luke's pretty good. I just haven't built him fully yet, because he was still doing good without being built fully. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like it's fun not instantly building the whole unit, because then I feel like, what do I do now? Because the unit is built. That's kind of what I enjoy the most, is building a unit and spending time doing that. So sometimes I just wait a few days or so and then do it later, so then I kind of enjoy it a bit more, I guess. But anyways, that's the unit. Yuri looks pretty interesting. I'm sure some people are going to be excited about him because they like him as a unit, as a character, and seems pretty fun. I don't know how good yet, but we'll try him out later. Hopefully we get lucky enough, because I really don't want to spend much, but it is what it is. So, another limited arc in this collab. The trait, damage dealt to human type enemies plus 20%. 20% isn't much for an arc trait. It's really not, and considering you have to hit human type enemies, it's also even worse because usually if you're hitting, you have a requirement, and this requirement is to hit human type enemies. I expect it to be like at least 30% or 40%, because that would make more sense. 20% is just too low for me, I think. Unless the rest of this trait makes up for that, I don't know yet. Cut magic attack damage taken based on number of living allies with a non-human type. Okay. Maximum minus 20%. It's whatever. I guess it's okay. Nothing crazy. When taking lethal damage from a special survivor 1 HP until that attack ends. So, here's the thing. I could see this potentially being useful in certain boss stages that the enemies do like a very strong special. You can put this arc trait on, and in theory you should be able to survive it. Even if they do a ridiculous amount of damage, you should be able to survive that special with 1 HP. So I can see that being useful in certain hard stages scenarios against certain bosses, but that's really it. I mean, I can definitely see that being good. It's going to give it some usability in like the maze, for example, or something. I still haven't bothered too much with the maze because I don't know, it's difficult, and I could say I enjoy it, but to an extent really. So I don't need to rush it, so I don't bother. I don't know, maybe I'll focus on that more in the future, I don't know. I know there's still crystals I can get from there. I should do it, but I'm just enjoying doing what I'm doing at the moment. So it's a decent trait, it's nothing crazy. I think surviving a special is pretty useful. Now skills, mostly just one skill here that's good. The rest of it is whatever. Mimicry, Spirit, Special Shield, Spirit Geyser. Spirit Geyser could be useful. I think it's the first time I've seen that, so that could be good on some mage units. I really hope they bring more mage units, because I personally want a collab that they bring out another unique mage with unique skills to that collab. Why haven't they done that yet? One of these units in this collab could have been a mage. It should have been a mage, because a mage like Senku was incredibly fun to use because it was unique magic, and it was pretty good too. I want more units like those for collabs, because like Amelia too, you know how good she is in Arena. We need more units like those. More mage units. They don't release enough mage units. It's kind of like they have a period of releasing a few mage units, and then they stop for like a few months or so, and then they come back to it. it's kind of funny, but understandable in a way, because they kind of up the power creep, and then they don't need to increase it anymore, so they come back to it later in a few months. Makes some sense. I can understand it. Like, if there were to be some harder stages that require better supports or something, they might release one then, and allow us to be able to do that content. Makes sense. We make the future. I don't really care about the skill. It's another skill that requires you to be 40 seconds into the battle for it to do anything. So 40 seconds after the battle start, you give a special damage, 20% damage cap buff. I don't care, because I like nuking things really fast. Most people do that, and after 40 seconds the battle's probably done. So what's the point in a skill that requires you to be taking your time to just get a little bit more damage? I don't know. I don't really like it. I mean, it could have some usage in the future, like maybe a stage that is incredibly long or something, or just doesn't have multiple waves, it's just one long wave or something. Maybe, but for right now, not really, not going to use it. Dual wield, we know how good dual wield is. It's, you know, it could have been true dual wield, I know, but dual wield. If you don't have dual wield, if you don't have sandworm already, then here you go. Here's another option to get dual wield, but most people should have sandworm at this point. And Earth Mega Drive is the main reason why I think this arc's going to be worth getting, because Earth Mega Drive is going to give 2000 more damage cap to Yuri and give him more damage, and he's dual wield, so that's pretty good. Only problem I'm seeing is that most Earth DPS units are probably going to have Earth Mega Drive on them already. Like, I believe Levi, and Vayne already has Earth Mega Drive, so you don't need to add it to them because they've already got it. But Yuri doesn't, so that's good, and that's pretty much it. I'll keep rewards, whatever. Earth, Fire, Ice, Earth, Thunder damage 10%, special damage 20%. Pretty basic, it's nothing crazy, I probably wouldn't use it. It's non-attribute sword, it's okay. Nothing really, it's kind of basic, it's just boring. I mean, maybe if I knew more about this collab, maybe I was more excited about this specific sword. Like, if it had a story behind this sword or whatever, it'd probably be more exciting, but I don't know anything, so I'm not excited about this sword. But if in the future we do get a unit that uses all of these units, all of these elements, I mean, for like skills or magic, or not magic because it's a sword, but if a unit in the future uses multiple elements for their skills, this could be useful then, but right now probably not. So I'm not sure what I think of these units yet, this part 2 yet, but Yuri looks pretty decent. I need to try him out to really understand of how good he is and what his damage cap's like and everything, but I can see a bit of potential, but I'm not entirely sure if he can compete to the part 1 units, because those part 1 units were pretty good. Not gonna lie, I was quite impressed with those part 1 units. The Arc is definitely worth getting because it's got Earth Mega Drive, and in the future we could get another Earth DPS unit that doesn't have Earth Mega Drive, and you could increase their damage and damage cap even more that way. I love having Mega Drive skills on Arcs. It just allows future units that don't have that Mega Drive to get more damage and damage cap, so I love it. I think it's up to you if you want to pull on this part 2 or part 1, but I don't know what I would recommend at this point. It's kind of up to you, because in the end it doesn't really matter, does it? It's up to you, but if you like Yuri, just go for him if you want. Part 1 it's probably more valuable because it's got 2 arcs and 2 units in, so you're more likely to get something new. You gotta have more luck for part 2, that rhymes, because there's only 1 unit and 1 arc. Yeah, but that's the thing, is every single unit in the game is not a must pull, so what's the point? Just pull for the units that you want, because all the time, whenever I see people say, oh, if this unit good, they're like, oh, you don't need to pull if you don't, but they're still good. I would just say, if you like the unit, go for them. And some units I could see being more useful long term, like mage units or support units. Like, a main example I'm giving is Shift Lagrabos is a long term unit that's going to last a while, and he's definitely worth chasing for, in my opinion. Is probably a must pull depending on your account. That's the thing. Even if they're good units, they're not ever going to be a must pull depending on your account. There's the problem, so I can't say anything, I never mention anything about must pulling. I just say go for who you want. And if they're good, yes they're good, but I don't know how good yet, because I haven't tested Yuri out, but he looked pretty good. So let's have a look at paid equipment. I don't know what to expect from here. Sword and an accessory. Earth Sword is kind of expected, because he's going to be an FDPS. Yeah, I'm going to summon him, hopefully, very soon. But I don't know what my luck's going to be like. I'm really hoping it's better than part 1, because that was kind of... it was okay, but it could have been better. Earth physical attack damage 15%, damage cap 1500. Pretty good. It's pretty good. When dealing anti-type damage, damage 15%, damage cap 1500 more. Okay. So the thing with that is he only has Human Slayer. But the good thing with that is, if you use like a God Slayer or something and you go up against the God Boss, then you're going to have more damage and damage cap that way. So I kind of like this sword. This is 100% going to be his best in-slot sword, because in total it gives 30% earth damage and 3000 damage cap, which is insane for a sword. So I'm going to get this sword because I think it's pretty good. I kind of like the sword, but you do have to hit an anti-type. you have to have a Slayer against that specific enemy, which isn't too difficult. Like, that's going to be useful in Arena, but it's going to try and enforce you to build a specific way, put on certain Slayers, depending on what you're up against, which sometimes I don't like that. I just like having a build and don't change it, and I just kill everything, you know? That's just too easy though, I understand. So, accessory, strength and defense 10%, whatever, not much, it doesn't really matter. Over limit buff active, earth damage, 20% damage cap, 3000. So the thing is, that's very good, yes, but you have to have over limit buff active, and I don't think that lasts very long. And you've got to be able to spam skills first before you can even activate it. So, yes, it's very good, because he's dual wield, getting 3000 damage cap from an accessory, wow, amazing. And 20% more damage, really good, but you need to have over limit buff active, which, put it in context, you either need to use 8 skill 1s or 2 skill 3s and a skill 2 to be able to get 1 level, and level 1 isn't going to last a very long time. It's going to be like, not very long. So, yeah, I personally feel like the sword's a better one to go for, but they're both good. So, knowing me, I'm going to get both. But, for a person that is deciding, I would say the sword. I would say the sword's better, for sure. Because it's Earth. You're going to benefit from Goddess Kiss more, and it's got good trait, amazing trait. So, definitely get the sword if you have an option, but obviously don't go for them if you're planning just to buy for them, because it's never worth doing that, because unit's going to be outdated anyway. But it's up to you. Well, to put it into context, what makes a unit a must-pull? Units like Spirit Maiden Tharea, or that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because it always depends on your account, because Sarah, I can't say is a must pull, because if you've already got Spirit Maiden 3, then you don't need Sarah, it's not something you need. You never need anything, it's just what your account looks like. Like, let's say you're missing, you don't have a good mage, then if there's a new powerful mage, like Shift Boss, then yes, it is a must pull for your account specifically. But if you already have Magia, it's not a must pull, so it's difficult. But someone like me, that I don't need anything ever, means that I can just pull for who I like, and you're going to enjoy the game much more if you just pull for who you like, and don't worry too much about the most important things to get, because when I start doing that, I start worrying about, oh, I'm missing this, I must get this, otherwise I'm not reaching the maximum potential to do even better. You know, sometimes I'm like that. Let's start doing some summons. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm really hoping we get the Arc and Yuri early, because I don't want to do 200 pulls again, I really don't. But if it comes to it, we'll see. At least we can't get dupes this time. Let's say a newer player that joins this game is definitely going to benefit from any unit in this collab. Any unit at all. Obviously get one for free. So, yeah. Obviously, I don't expect to get anything from this. It's going to be gold, it's going to stay gold. Imagine, here's what I'm hoping, is we get the Arc first, because that will mean I don't have to do 200 summons, because I want the Arc and the unit, because Yuri with the Arc, with Earth and Mega Drive just seems pretty good. It's just going to give him more damage potential. Imagine if this was something new. Imagine. Obviously not. I do have a few tickets I can use, I've been farming the event and stuff. Yeah, I'm glad people like these types of videos and stuff. I would personally like to do more types of videos, and helpful videos is just, they take a lot of time, and also I have to feel like I want to do it, which I do, but I just like chilling out doing my own thing, you know. Blue, have no hope for this one, it's going to stay at gold. Yeah, I like doing these streams, and here's the helpful thing is, I personally feel like adding in the timestamps is really helpful, because this stream is technically multiple videos in one, because I add the timestamps. People can go to that specific time of the video and watch a specific thing that they would like to watch. I personally like doing it this way, and I'm glad that people like doing it, people like watching it and stuff. I used to stream a game before this game, Knights and Dragons. All I really did was just stream the game and chill out and not really do much. It's not the same thing here, because it does require a lot more thinking and explaining stuff, and since I've played this game for a long time, I know a lot about this game, so I can give a lot of tips, and my, thought on things is sometimes helpful. I have done some videos, like some videos of other games, just for fun, occasionally. I don't know, I can't really say any tips right now. It's just anyone that asks a specific question, but not any question. Obviously, it's like, I don't know, I'm not going to come up with something stupid. First temple, we're not going to get anything unless it's a red, which probably not. I guess my only tip is just enjoy the game and do whatever you want. That's it, that's all I'm going to say. No reds on this temple, unless... but I'm not going to say anything. See, even though I got the best possible, there is a red. Something new, please. Not a unit. Limited arc. 2 reds. Getting Yuri and the limited arc in the same temple. Never mind. I think that's Yuri, because I'm not missing anything else. That's nice, that's pretty good. I should be excited, but I'm not like that. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get him anyway. That's pretty good. We've got Yuri, but I'm still not happy because the arc is worrying, very worrying. If you saw what went with part 1, it took us 200 summons to get even one arc to show up. I really hope we don't have to do that again, because that's gonna be painful. Let's use tickets now. I've been farming the event and got a few tickets, so let's use these 7 first. I could do singles, but I don't know. I like doing singles because it makes it longer. You see more animations. A bit more fun, but I know that takes long. I really don't expect to get anything from this. My part 1 tickets were terrible, I got literally nothing at all. If we could get a Yuri dupe, that would be fine, but obviously I'm looking for the arc as soon as possible, is the first thing I would like. As soon as we get the arc, we are done. Obviously it's not going to be here. There is an arc, which is funny. Game likes to troll. It really does. Last temple with tickets, and then we'll have to do the painful summons. Blue. Yeah. I don't know why they decided to do it a day early. No idea. But I guess I don't know. It's fine. No red or a red. There's a red. Limited arc. Probably not. It's only one. Another arc. But that's not what we want at all. Now I have to use more crystals, damn it. Well, I did read the notice on the news thing, and it did say maintenance starts like a day early, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I didn't really say anything. Should I use more paid crystals? Well, I kinda need to for the paid equipments. Do I want both, is the question that I'm thinking of. I don't know. Would I go for both? Because I've already got the unit, I don't need to use more paid crystals. I mean... wait. In my opinion, do I think he's going to be a good burst unit with over limit buff? No. I don't think the accessory's worth getting, but obviously for maximum damage you could, but I think I'm just going to go for the sword this time. Because I'm trying to limit my amount of spending paid crystals. So for that reason I'm just going to do 4 singles and be smart. For once in my life. Very difficult for me to do that sometimes. We're all at that point somewhere. Sometime. I'm going to skip these 4 because there's obviously not going to be anything in a single summon, is there? Is there? Maybe. Arc. Oh man. I'm just getting flashbacks to what happened in part 1. I think that was 3. This is 4. I really want the arc. I mean, how important is it? Not super, but I don't even know if this collab's gonna get a rerun. That's the problem. I just keep getting memories of Purple Orb and not being able to have it for years and years. It was kind of painful. I didn't have Purple Orb for such a long time, and Honey Elixir. I don't want to miss out on those. Because we rarely get Mega Drive skills. It's like on one arc. There's a blue, I don't have hope for you. This temple is going to be no red temple. See? I knew it. I'm so good at this. I'm so good at predicting what's going to happen. Sometimes. Come on, Ark. We have to see you. Come up. As soon as possible. Maybe I'll do singles, just to... Oh, it's another no. Yeah, we're doing... This is... We're not... We can't be doing this again. Maybe I'm just gonna... do singles until we get an arc. That would technically save crystals. Anyone that worries about spending crystals, just do singles and never do a temple in your life ever. Because what's the point? What's the point doing a temple? Because you don't really get much for doing it, do you? We're at 54. Okay, well, that's okay. I would really hope to get the arc right now, because that's all we need. Then we can stop and save the rest for whatever's coming next. I don't know. I think the next unit's going to be a Christmas unit. Any guesses on the Christmas unit? Next waifu Christmas unit? No idea. If it's not a gold, I'm just gonna skip. And if nobody shows up, I'm skipping. I don't know who's gonna be Christmas unit. You know what? Everyone knows what I want. Or at least some people do. I've been waiting for a shift Lily for such a long time. Ice Mage, I would hope. Or not, I don't know. Could be fun. There's a gold, but it doesn't mean anything because I've had it happen before where it's been no reds and it's happened like this. We have Xmas Theria. She's pretty old. She was like the first Christmas unit we got. I don't think we get another Shift Bayland anytime soon for a long time. Stupid arc that isn't limited. Damn it, game. You're gonna make me do this again, aren't you? You're gonna force me to pity the arc again. I didn't want to. I really didn't. Theria, imagine Theria getting another shift. She probably is gonna be the first person to have like a... How many shifts at this point? 2? 3? Maybe she'll probably be the first unit that gets another shift. I was kind of hoping for like a holiday. Well, there's another red. Kind of hoping for a Halloween Theria. That would have been interesting somewhat. Okay, we're getting nowhere with this. I don't know what to do. I don't want to pity it, but I'm gonna have to, aren't I? man. I don't have any arc luck in this collab at all. Most collabs I have more luck in part 1 for arcs, but this time I don't have any luck in either of them, so kind of unfortunate. No, it's a blue. Don't like seeing a blue. No. There is a red, but there's only one, there's two. There is the arc. I'm happy about that, actually. That's pretty good. I'm happy about that. That means we don't... Is this going to be Yuri? No, I was little bit of hope there. That would have been fun. Don't have to do any more summons now. That's pretty good. We actually got lucky this time. For once. Not the most luckiest I've gotten, but I'm happy about that. We don't have to... We can save the rest that we got. We only did 73, not including tickets, so that was on the lucky side, I would say. And the problem is, we got 73 of these, might as well use those on tickets, right? Nothing else you could use them on. Sure, why not? Why not? There you go, 4 tickets. We're not going to be getting this, because I don't think it's worth getting, because over limit buff is kind of... I don't really care too much about over limit buff. This is my collab team. It does feel really good getting everything from a collab, including the arcs. Feels pretty nice, but not when you get unlucky. We'll look at him very soon. Let me just use those tickets so I can not touch the gacha for another week and maybe 2 weeks. Yep, obviously nothing from tickets as expected, but I don't need anything. Oh well, there are 2 SSRs I'm missing. I don't have 2 SSRs, but chance of getting those are quite slim. If you give me another limited arc, I'm going to be quite... I don't know, I'm just going to be unimpressed. Thank God. It's happened before, where I've spent like a ridiculous amount trying to go for an arc. I had to pity the arc, I think, and then... or maybe not. It was one... I think it was for besties. Yeah. If I go... It was on... this arc, I got it once. I spent a lot to get this, and then I got a duplicate from the ticket, and I was just incredibly sad. I was so mad. I hated everything, but at least I got it. Let's try them out now. We are below 1 hour, so we're pretty good on time. So it's going to be quite interesting to test him out. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do for him for a build. Since he requires a lot of spamming skills, I'm going to put on, obviously, honey. He has honey elixir already, and I'm going to put on Goddess Kiss and Purple Orb, because it's going to be good for spamming even more skills. Maybe Counselor 10 is a good option for him too. Probably is. So let's... I didn't want to use another rainbow potion for this, so I'm going to try and be smarter this time and not use one, because I've only got 3 left. I'm going to save them. So I'm just going to use a gold potion and try and level them up the rest of the way, I think. It sounds like a better plan in my head, but I don't know how long it's going to take. I do have a lot of materials. I did make sure I had enough for this. Okay, we need 40 levels. I don't know if we can do that. Should be able to. I'll make it happen. We can do a few stages and get those done. But obviously I'm not going to use all these because it's only 95. I'm not going to do that yet. Let's just learn everything and check things out. So, what do I plan to do to test him out, really? I really want to see what damage he's hitting. I don't know, he might require a lot of damage skills, I don't know, I kind of want to see how much investment he needs to be a good unit. Because some units can be good without even being built at all. They can just be good with their base skills, but there aren't that many units like that. Like, it's very rare that you get a unit with their base skills that can already hit damage cap without any buffs or anything. Human buffs is going to be nice. So I don't have enough blue souls to level up the arc, and I still haven't leveled up one of the other ones from part 1 yet. So I'm not going to be able to get Earth and Mega Drive for a little while, but it's not super important yet. I know there is an Earth Spear you could probably use on him if you want. I don't know if that's a good idea. Maybe against certain enemies that are weak to Earth you could do that. But Spear boosts are only really for taking less physical damage. For more overall damage it's probably better to do like some other weapon. Because ideally you kind of want 2 Earth weapons, but that might not be possible. Depending on what weapons you're planning on using, and what type of weapons. So I think Luke's base damage cap was around 31,000-ish, so I expect Yuri to be about that much too, hopefully. But he does have more conditional damage caps, so he should hit more damage cap than Luke, right? Maybe with over limit buff and hitting Slayers, of course, but I don't know if he's going to be one of those units that requires those buffs to be good. Like Virgil required one of the 2 buffs to be active for him to do good damage, otherwise he's just not very good in DPS. Auto speed. So the Christmas unit is most likely going to be Ice Element, and I'm still surprised that we haven't got another Ice unit since summer. I don't know why they're doing this with Ice units. They don't want to release more Ice units in this game, for whatever reason. The ward, Earth damage 1%, whatever. Always missing one, aren't I? I will see it this time, I will, trust me. Don't worry. I'm not dumb. I could see. Or not. Clearly not. It's just one stupid stat boost somewhere. Yeah. I really need to test him out. There he is. I need to test him out to really know how good he is. But for me, Luke just seems more like a fun unit. Doing that amount of hits is pretty crazy. Well, we do have Lagrange for lightning, thunder, but we don't really have anyone else. We've got Mia, and that's really it, isn't it? Yeah, we kind of need more thunder and ice units. We kind of have everything else. I mean, there could be a few more dark units too at this point. Fire is okay, light is too much. I think light is definitely, we have the most light units right now. And second is probably fire or earth, one of the two. And then after that's probably dark, and then ice is left by itself to, I don't know, maybe ice will come back in the future with some stupid strong units. Who knows? I guess so. Like, we had Logzaeus, but we haven't really had a replacement, arguably, because I don't know about you, I don't use Logzaeus anymore, because he's outdated. That's just what I'm like. He's just a bit outdated at this point, so I don't use him. So, what he can equip swords and axes. If I go to Earth, yeah, that's the problem. That we don't have any Earth swords at all, unless I'm missing something. Have none. Only his page sword. So, for the second weapon, I think Trishul is a good idea. I could try and have a look at if there's any other Earth weapons that I haven't actually gotten from a Archiver reward yet. Potentially, there might be. I'm just gonna chuck on Muramasa for now, because it's good. And I'll worry about proper builds later. Accessories, he is an Earth DPS, so we have a few options, a bit more options than fire, I think, in his sword, so we can mint for relief. Eternal Tree, I like this accessory, but it gives a lot of lag. A lot of healing though, could be nice. Desert Rose is probably the best one to put on. 10% more earth damage, plus mint for relief, might be a good idea. Or do I want to put on, yeah, might as well. Or I can just try Eternal Tree, even if it's only 5%. I'm just going to try that for now. There are some good options for Earth, but limited on weapons for Earth weapons. What's his stats looking like right now? Not bad, not the best. Defense a bit low, but he is level 60, so we kind of have to level him up a bit. Which we will do soon. Hopefully, we can get enough XP for that. I'm gonna check what equipment, what weapons I have, because I might be... There are probably a few more Earth weapons that I can't equip yet. So, might as well put them on my home screen. I usually do that for new units. Let's try them out. Let's do that. I did want to look at other weapons, maybe I should do that first. Oh yeah, and also change to Steam, I should do that first before anything else, really. So I'm gonna do that now. And then it's gonna be so much better. Go away. I'll close this. Open this up, and we're done. I did change the backgrounds because it looked better. Why is it never... There you go. Easy. Doesn't take very long, does it? No. I think for his second weapon, it might be a better option to put on non-attribute weapon or something. But Trishula's pretty good. I don't like how Steam is quieter than the emulator. It's kind of a bit annoying. Let me just have a look at weapons. Can I filter Earth? I can. Obviously not going to have a staff. That's dumb. Who would do that? Obviously you got Spear. But Spear boosts are not that amazing for physical damage compared to Sword boost. Another Spear. Obviously we've got paid ones, and we've got Axe that doesn't do much. There isn't really that much here, is there? There's not many options. Oh yeah, this one. There's a bow, but we don't have bow boost and only increase the critical rate, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, we literally have nothing. Claw. This could be okay. Maybe. But yeah, there isn't really that many good Earth weapons. We don't have many. That's really it. At least what I have. I could double check the arcs, because I know this one is non-attribute for sure. But it does give more damage, but you don't really care about that because it's a sword anyway. Not amazing. I haven't gotten this one yet. It's the accessory. Haven't bothered spending ether on them yet because it's expensive to use all of them. This one is the dark weapon. Yeah, I don't think there are any other Earth weapons. I've already got you. Yeah, you're the armor. Okay. Let's try them out now. I don't think there's that many Earth weapons to use, so I think the second weapon's going to have to be either the Spear for Earth or something like Trishula or something else. Right now I'm sticking with Muramasa. So let's go with a normal stage and try him out, but it is going to have Slayer damage. This should be pretty good. I expect it to. So, let's use Ether Burst first, because then we know his skill stock's 532. It's okay. It's not the best, but at least it's not worse. Skill 1 is hitting good damage already. Obviously it's because he has Slayers active right now, so that explains a lot. Skill 1 is pretty good. Spams quite a lot. Skill 2, it's okay. Not bad. Skill 3 obviously is pretty good. Just close the gap. He has over limit gauge level 1 now, after using all of those skills. Skill 1, skill 3, but now it has over limit level 2. If I use over limit level 2, you'll see the difference. Now I've got a level 2 buff, and I'm going to do even more, which you can't really see, because base skills 37,000, yeah. It's pretty good. I mean, obviously it's not something you can go in multiplayer and just spam skills non-stop, because you have to spam skills and then use your buff, and then spam more skills. I don't know what the best strategy for that is yet, because obviously you'd want level 4, but they might be dead before you can even get level 4. Let's try with Sarah now, and this is going to be even better. This should probably hit damage cap this time, but this is going to be without over limit buff. I wish it could has another way of getting over limit gauge buff thing, because it's a bit slow. Let's just spam skill 3s here, just to try it out. Should be pretty good. His damage cap is 31. Okay. Well, obviously it's not bad, but it could be better at the same time, but that was without over limit buff. It's not terrible. With base skills too, but he did have some buffs as well. It's not the fastest, it's quite slow, with just base, nothing else. If you can get a normal buffs, then it should be pretty good. I could try special out. I don't think there's much to test, is there? Especially right now, since he's not rebuilt or anything, is there? I could try special out. I'm gonna try one more time. Maybe I'll try out the other skills. I should probably try against a different stage too. Like, he has Slayer damage right now, so he's gonna do more damage than without Slayer. This time let's try skill 2 and just see what that's like. It's okay. Seems to be doing good damage. They're all dead. All of those hits were hitting damage cap that time. That's interesting. Still pretty fun. I gotta try out more of that skill 1. Especially for arena, that's gonna be fun to use. I'll try that one more time. Then I'll try out his special. But there's a problem with that. Is he gets most of his special damage from over limit buff. So I have to use some skills first and then use his special. I'm just gonna spam skill 1, see what it does. Probably not much. Should be able to hit all of them, right? Should pierce. Yeah. It's not bad. They got flinched out of the skill 1. Okay. I see that his skill 2 is hitting more damage than his skill 3. At least on the first few hits of his skill 3 weren't hitting damage cap, but the last hits were. It's not bad. Let's try it as special now, because I want to try that out. But it's not going to do very much. He needs to have his over limit level active. Which means I've got to use 2 skill 3s and a skill 2. They're not going to be dead yet. I got it. What? Yeah, I'm going to use El Giovanna just to make it a lot easier. And Great Wolverine and good enough. It's not going to do very much, but you're going to see a huge number. But it's still not very impressive. Yeah, that is instant cast for Ether Burst, so that's pretty good. There you go. Now I can use. You have to use the over limit first before you actually get the buff. I wish it was automatic, don't you? That would have been so much better. Let's try this. It's a pretty cool animation, but it doesn't do much. It's like Logzair skill 3, slammed. Oh, but the boss died, so that wasn't that bad actually. Here's what I'm thinking. It does increase damage cap by 1000%, which means any damage cap bonuses you're giving him are going to be 1000% more, which technically means 10 times more. So if you give him 1000 damage cap for a special, it's giving 10,000 damage cap. But it's not much because it's only one hit. I think that did like 1.5 mil-ish. It's okay. It's nothing crazy. I mean, I feel like I was having a bit more fun with Luke as a unit. Because of his extra hits, he was a bit more of an interesting mechanic, you know, something new. Yuri just seems kind of like a more basic unit, at least so far. But I'm going to try and get him to 5th enhance. But to do that, I need to level him up to level 100, but to do that, XP farm stages for a little bit. Shouldn't take a long time because now we have training field. And I should do this before it disappears. Okay, now it's not doing much, obviously because they got resistance. You've got triple impact, by the way, which is whatever. Yeah, triple impact was just a kind of a waste of a skill. I haven't heard really anything about Dragalia Lost. I know there was some. There's always games shutting down, but I don't always keep on top of everything. I want to know what range of a skill 3 looks like. It's probably not that crazy, is it? It's not going to hit them all, is it? Almost. It missed one. Well, it's not bad. It's not bad, but he does have Slayer damage right now. Okay. He's still missing Earth Mega Drive from the Arc and Earth Attack Raise 3 from 5th Enhance, I believe. So that's even more damage there. Yeah, it doesn't hit all of them, but it's good enough. Skill 1. I want to know if his skill 1 is more reliable than Stahn's skill 1, because his skill 1 just disappears sometimes. I mean, I could show you. I could show you what I've been doing with Stahn in Arena, but it's not. I could, because it's not going to be a permanent thing. It's just for fun. I'll probably do that a bit later. But it's pretty fun. But I'm probably going to go back to Vayne, Van. I still don't know which way round it is. Doesn't matter. Skill 1 spam. It is fun though. Spamming skill 1 super fast is always fun. See, here's the thing, is Yuri doesn't have any of the skills that Luke had with extra boost damage, you know. He had a lot of extra damage boost, extra attack damage boost, and that allowed him to hit quite a lot of damage with dual wield, because dual wield, second hit of dual wield does count as an extra attack. But I know there is an arc with extra attack boost that you could put on, but it's not the same because, you know, not extra attack boost too. We should be able to get quite a bit of XP from this, but I haven't done this yet, so I don't know. Three waves. Some units can target this enemy in the middle, use a skill 3 and hit them all, but he can't. He misses those two on the edge, unless they walk into it. Now he's not doing much damage because he's not hitting Slayers. He's still not built though. It's still pretty fun. Because what I was thinking is, I was trying to compare Yuri to Levi, because Levi is pretty old at this point, and it should be expected for Yuri to be better, because he's the newest unit, right? And it's been a while, like a few months. So you would think the power creep would allow the newer unit to be better. I don't know at this point. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how much XP we got from that. I didn't really pay attention to that. I should have. We're at level 81. We're definitely going to get to 100, but just not yet. I have enough potions to do that. Yeah, I don't want to waste them. Because if I was just by myself, I would just farm all these stages with a lot of them and get him leveled up and save my potions. But in the end, why save potions if you're not going to use them at all? What's the point? I don't know. I don't know if they're just reusing the same skill 1 animation and just being lazy. That's an option, that's something that could be happening. Because technically it's the same skill, right? With many units. It's just a little different. $900,000 XP is not bad. He gets double that. Okay, that's pretty good. I think this is going to be the best stage for XP then. So I might as well do these and get to level 100 and try them out again. Probably not going to learn that many skills because I like to do that in my own time because it takes a long time to do that. I just casually just do the event stages and farm, learn the skills. I try to learn as much skills as possible because it goes towards the achievements to get more stuff. Nice. I still think it's strange that units use a sword but they have a long range skill. What if I attack here? Still misses too. Like, I thought it was very funny when Demon Lord Rimuru used the sword, but all of his skills weren't actually hitting anyone with a sword. They were just long range attacks. It was funny. I do have quite a lot of Mother Souls now. I should use them. I do plan to use them on Luke and Yuri at some point in a few days or so. I mean, I've got a lot of time to build these units, but I'm just going to be doing it casually because I'm busy. I still got to finish work and stuff, and there's also Christmas coming up. I'm still going to be doing the Christmas live stream units like normal, whenever that's going to be. Maybe I should check. I think that's like 15th of December or something. Yeah, 15th of December should be the Christmas unit. I think. Unless it's a week later than that. No, it should be then. I'm hoping for a Christmas lily. I want it. I want it. Level 93 already. This stage is pretty good. Can only do it one more time. Almost there though. And then we can use a few potions, get his 5th enhance, learn stuff, try him out again. It's probably not going to be too much different, I expect. That skill 2 range isn't as good as I would like. Like, I was looking at Shift Balin's skill 3 range and it's pretty crazy if you look at it. It hits so many enemies, you can just kill everything. We need more long range, well, wide area skills, or we need like a new Roy or something. Imagine. $95 should be good enough. I'll just try the other stage just to see how much it gives, and then we'll finish that off. So this stage, it's not going to give as much. I just want to see how much because I don't remember, because it wasn't important enough to me to remember. Yeah, it's going pretty well. I'm still testing him out and stuff. I'm just trying to level him up, get him to 5th enhance. I still have a few plans, but we've done most of the reviews and summons and everything. It went pretty well. I think the summons went pretty well. Definitely better than part 1 for sure. Because we didn't have to pity anything, so that's always a positive. I do want to test out Yuri in Arena, but I'm not going to be able to have him built for that. But I will show out what I've been doing with Stahn in Arena, because he's pretty fun in Arena, but also annoying. You'll see why. His skill 1 is just not reliable at all. I'm hoping Yuri is more reliable and does damage, but since he's dual wield, I don't really have hope for it. I think I'm just going to finish it off with potions now and get 5th enhance. No more wasting time. Yeah, this event has 2 weeks left. And then there's going to be probably the Christmas event, so I have 2 weeks from now to save, which is good, because we didn't have to spend much, but I'm below 90,000 free crystals. Yeah, that's pretty lucky getting them both, but depending on how many summons it took. I know some people are incredibly lucky and get both of them in one 10 pull. I'm never going to be one of those people, ever. It's never going to happen. Yeah, that's good enough. I got Yuri pretty early. The arc took a bit more, but it wasn't that bad. Wish's defense was a bit higher. 32k is pretty good, I would say. I did like 73 summons. Step Catcher does help make it cheaper though. I do always like that. Let's build him with 5th enhance now. I do have enough materials for this. Yeah, I do think the paid weapon's pretty good. If you have a choice, get a weapon instead of the accessory, because I don't really care too much about the accessory, even though it gives 3000 damage cap is amazing, and 20% more damage is amazing too, but you have to have the over limit buff active, so for that reason I'm not getting it. I don't think it's worth getting it specifically, but it's up to you if you want to get one. I personally feel like it's worth getting this, but only if you have a choice and already have the credentials, or you can do like a few more just to get it. But if you need to do 25 summons just to get it, then it's never worth doing it, unless you can get them cheap, like from Step Gacha, potentially. That's pretty much always the case. The arc with Yuri is pretty damn good, because the arc does have Earth Mega Drive, which I do like quite a lot. So yeah, this trait, the 5th Enhance, is going to give more damage cap. So that's good. He should be able to have some solid damage cap now, actually. Should be nice. I don't know how good though. Earth Attack Raise 3, always nice to have. Having Earth Attack Raise 3 and Mega Drive is kind of what you want. Well, most units at this point should be expected to have both. That's what I think. That's everything. Nice. We didn't get any duplicates of him. I do have one prism from the event, so he's only going to be at +6. Stahn and Luke are going to be at +10 and +12. Which, pretty good. I do like having them at 100 SC, it just feels a lot nicer. I'm still saving these, I got 3 right now. 7 more, and I'll be able to get any unit I want to +20. I don't know if I'm ever going to do that. If in the future, like anytime soon, there's like a limited or DOH unit that is incredibly game breaking and is a must have and blah blah, super strong, then I might use all my Godforge things, my God whatever, Mother Souls, God Relic Prism, close enough, on that unit, because that would be worth it at that point. But it's quite rare for that to happen. I'm still going to keep him at base skills for now, and I'm going to try him out again. He should be doing some good damage now. I expect it. Go back to the normal stage. Haven't tried the other stage yet, but I will do that, because they are god enemies. That means he won't have slayer damage. That's probably going to mean he's not going to do anything, no damage, but it's worth a try. So what's the damage like now? It's not going to hit damage cap. I'm going to say like around above 20,000-ish. And that's actually pretty good. 37,000. Okay. Now I'm impressed. A bit more than I was. That's not bad. Obviously he's hitting slayer damage, but 35,000. Let's use over limit, get more damage. Okay. It's pretty good. It's not bad. Can be pretty fun. That's just with base skills as well, and the equipment I put on mostly for damage. So, I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna do that one more time, I think. And then we'll add in supports and see what damage is like then. But it isn't really possible. It's definitely not possible to test his maximum damage potential because he needs over limit level 4, which he can't get unless he spams a lot of skills, which is going to take a while. See, that's pretty good. Skill 3 range is not bad either. They're all dead. You know what? That's not bad, but they are human enemies. So, to make it a bit more fair of a test, I'm going to go against the god type enemies. Hope they don't have earth resistance, and it's going to be a lot less damage, because he's not going to have slayer damage. But that's going to be kind of a accurate estimation, kind of. What stage is it? This one, I think. Unless it's not. Yep. Okay. They don't have Earth resistance, so this is going to be an accurate test when he's got no Slayer damage at all. He's not going to do very much here, don't expect a lot from him. Because he has no Slayer damage and he's at base skills, no over limit level. It's going to do terrible. But yeah, 9,000, 10,000 on non-crits is so bad. 5,000, 4,000, yeah. It's not very good damage, but the good thing about this is I can now spam skills and get the over limit level buff thing. I've got over limit level 3, I'm going to use it. That was fast. And now skill 3. This is without Slayer. Any Slayer skills. But you can see how easy it is to spam skills with him. Especially if you have Council 10, that's pretty good. Council 10, I think. Council 10 probably going to be one of his best options if you have it max level. Or if you have it at all. Most players are not going to have that, I know. But I think it's going to help him do even better. Let me do that one more time. But Master of Sands could be good, but it doesn't increase damage, so I wouldn't recommend that at all, really. Perfects of God, no. Unless you're doing burst damage, but not really. There isn't that many good options. I mean, I'm mostly looking at URs. Ultra Chronos could be good, because I personally like this arc trait. Damage cap to non-guarding enemies. Pretty good. That's the first arc in this collab that I got to level 10. Yeah, I don't... There are not that many amazing options, I think. This one, Earth damage, that's pretty basic, I'm just going to use it. Because if you're not hitting Slayers, then he's going to need a lot of damage or the Slayer to be able to hit damage, I think. So let's try this out again. It's not going to be that much different, really. Kinda need Goddess Kiss right about now. Because they're not going to die because I'm not doing enough damage with base skills with this build. Because he's not hitting Slayers. If he had God Slayer, it would be a different story, I think. It would be a lot better. So let me go back to the other stage, and I'm going to try different tests, mostly with damage, because I haven't tried that yet. Let me just go back to what I was using and go to this team. Let's see how fast he can kill stuff. Council 10 maybe, or something else. Does he need it? Well, actually he only needs damage cap. For that reason, Perfects of God is technically the best option. So, yeah, sure, why not? Let's do that. Let's go with that. That's fine. What's my plan? Same as usual, just use everything. And I'm gonna spam skill 3 on Yuri just to see how much it does. I'm hoping it takes 2 skill 3s to kill them all. Might not though. I think it's gonna take 2 in a bit. That's good enough. Now you wait for it. Theophilus. Damage cap is now pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty nice. 50,000. Yeah, that is pretty good. Expected. Yeah, that's without over limit buff, and there could be other units in there too. And obviously that's with Perfects of God, so there's kind of, you're not going to reach that damage cap in a normal world situation, but you know, it's good enough. I could try some crazy stuff with special damage, but I don't think I really need to do much on that, do I? And I know for sure it can't kill them all in one hit. But this could be fun. Because his special is kind of limited on how much damage he can do with it. Might as well use all the buffs again, because why not? I know 100% he can't kill them all with one special. Gonna be able to do about 1.7-ish, 1 point something, at least above 1.5. I think that's all I need to do, right? Yeah, that's it. Let's use it. I don't need to use Theopolis. They got, boss has 2.6 mil. Should go down to, that was hardly anything because I didn't have the over limit buff active. You see, that explains a lot. You see how terrible that is? The worst special in the world you've ever seen in your life. Yeah, I know. You need the over limit buff active to be able to do anything with that, so that requires more setup than that, which makes it difficult to even test something like that. So for that situation, I don't know how to. I can't really do a proper test like that, but as you saw what happens. We're gonna leave it at that, just cause why not? Anything else I want to do really? Not really. I mean, I could just. Nah, I'm just gonna try one more time, and maybe I'll go over to Arena next, because there isn't really much I can test on him when he's not built properly. A lot of hits with normal attacks. I do like that skill one, it's pretty nice. Yeah, he's definitely not terrible, he's pretty good, but I wouldn't say he's amazing, at least so far from my testing, but I think he's going to be better in, like, let's say you're up against a boss that has a lot of health. That's going to be a long stage and you can spam a lot more skills, so in that situation I can see him being very good for that, because he can get over limit gauge level 4 and is going to have a lot more damage, so that's going to be very good. But I think the thing to think about here is that he's still good, still does decent damage without that buff. Like, Virgil didn't really do very well without any buffs, but Yuri can still do decent damage without any buffs, without any over limit buffs. But obviously it's less. Anything else I can do now? Well, I guess I'm gonna go to Arena real quick, because I want to do that. I can collect this, more crystals, yay. I still need to do the new story, I haven't fully done that yet, but I want to find the time to do that. Let me just show you what I have been doing recently. Been trying out Stahn in Arena. He's pretty good, not gonna lie, but he has some problems, which you will see. I don't care about showing the build because it's not going to be a permanent thing on my team, so you can check it out if you want. I mean, I'm fine with sharing builds as long as it's not a unit that I don't know, have a secret on or something, or a unit that I use all the time. What I'm trying to do is just have as much damage as possible, and when I used Vayne, I realized that Guard Charge is pretty useful for more SET. I can't really say the best unit from this collab, I don't know yet because they're all pretty good, but what I can say is I don't think one unit in particular stands out from the rest of them because I think they're all pretty good, and they're all different elements, and they do things differently. But I think they're all pretty good. I can't say that one's the best out of this collab, at least at the moment, because I haven't really tested Yuri out with his full potential, and the same with Luke. I haven't tested his full potential either. But I think Stahn's good, Luke's good, Yuri's good, they're all good. That's what I'm gonna say. I say don't worry about the best unit, because they're all good anyway. Just go for who you want and who you need for your account. I'm gonna try out Stahn in Arena now, because I'm just gonna show off what I've been doing with him. Who should I attack? I mean, it doesn't really matter. That's too easy. You're the cheating unit, cheating player that's still not removed, still not banned. He's been hacking. He should be removed by now. I'm surprised they haven't done anything yet. I'll see if I can. It's more difficult for me to do this on computer, but I'm gonna try. Oh, that's a problem. I'm just gonna wait. So here's the thing: is his skill 1 is not as good as I would like because you can't really see it right now, and sometimes it feels like it just disappears and does nothing at all. So once I can actually kill someone, target someone else. But his damage is pretty solid, see 20k, skill 1, that did work that time. That works. That's pretty good. It does kind of counter, yeah, that's working pretty well. It does kind of counter Vayne. I still don't know if I'm saying his name right, I never will, ever. Because he's so Stahn does pretty well against him, he can just kind of destroy him quite fast, that's kind of it. I did reach 60,000 damage with Stahn against someone. Let's just test this out for a bit, because it's pretty fun. I don't know who I should be hitting. I mean, I could try a tank team or something, but like this is kind of a tank team, but it's spell render for whatever reason. Most people don't use tank teams for spell render for tank teams. There's better options for tank teams, but right now tank teams I think are falling out of meta, which is a good thing because they were annoying. So I'm gonna try and showcase mostly his damage. Not a problem. The weights. They're all dying. Great, love it. Skill 1. It did work. That I don't know why it was disappearing when I was doing it on my phone. Maybe it's just because of lag and stuff. I don't know. It might happen in a bit. We'll see. I do think it's pretty fun though. He's pretty fun to use. I haven't really tried him on auto yet. I don't know how reliable he's going to be on auto. I don't think he's going to be amazing on auto. But on manual, he's pretty fun to use. So if you've got him, try him out at least. That's what I say. If you even care about Arena or have fun with it, then try it out if you want. Obviously, it's not going to do much to Gorm, but can sometimes kill him. 400 damage, yeah, obviously not going to do much to Gorm. Okay. Eliza I always find to be a problem in Arena sometimes. Now where'd I go? You can see he's pretty good, he's killing quite a lot of people. I mean, it's not that difficult anymore, as long as you've got a solid, long range, physical attacker. Most units can do that now. But it's even more impressive if they can do it against tank units. That's too easy. Too easy. I would usually do that for points for free, but right now I'm not trying to get points. I'm just trying to showcase what I've been doing with Stahn. I can't really try Yuri yet because I haven't gotten built yet. This team is more of a problem because I could die. And Murren is not really something I can kill. See that range of that skill 2, it lunged right into Lagraine and killed him. Pretty good. You're dead. 29k I think that was. Not doing anything to Murren, but he's not really a unit for tanks. You're dead. Shield. Now you're dead. It's pretty good. Yeah. I could try auto on some random team, because I haven't actually tried that yet. Yeah, you're dead. It's pretty good. I feel like it's more reliable on Steam than it was on my phone, unless they did something with the update or whatever, I don't know. Maybe just because I was having lag on my phone, so sometimes the animation was disappearing, I don't know. Something. Let's do something different. I'm gonna go and spar someone soon. Let me just do one more attack, and then I'm gonna go spar someone. This is more difficult. I'm gonna spar someone, and go on auto, and just to see what he does on auto, because I haven't actually tried it yet. Oh yeah, I haven't changed the settings. I should do that. So they got new camera settings. I think I like using aerial. I think that's the one I was using. Yeah, I do like this. He did, I don't know if you saw, but Stahn did survive that skill 3 from Lagrabos, which was impressive. There you go. 38k I think that was. It's pretty strong. Obviously I've got as much damage as possible. He doesn't have any slayers, so that's pretty good. 38,000. Yeah. That's nice. Let me do a few more tests with him. I would like to try it on Yuri. Try Yuri in Arena right now, but I don't really have him built. So I'm going to be doing that in my own time. Maybe I'll come back to it, probably not, I'll see. But I don't know who to spar for this example, so I mean, most likely going to die, because auto's probably not going to do very well. Especially, I feel like people with Murren is a problem. Let's just do that. Obviously, you're going to lose. That's pretty good. I haven't tried Luke in Arena because I don't think he's going to be reliable. Obviously I'm going to die right now, but I found that Stahn survives Amelia quite well, but obviously Lagrabos is then going to kill him. which is going to be annoying. But I don't have to worry about losing because this is just a spar test. It's just testing. See what happens. But yeah, you can see a problem is I can't really do much when it's on auto like that. I think the problem was Lagaros probably didn't use his skill 3 fast enough. I'm gonna do that again because it was on auto the entire time. Well, I didn't even get a chance to do many hits on that. I'm gonna do that again. Maybe try a few difficult teams, like I know what teams are hard. I know. Now I don't need to touch any buttons at all, but obviously it's going to go terribly wrong and die again, but maybe Stahn might actually do something better, because I couldn't really see what he did last time. That's the problem. You use Blizzard, that kind of helps a little bit. That helps a bit. Now just spam skill 1, kill everything, please. You can see his skill 1 is killing everything. Skill 1, bam, dead. 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 It does work pretty well. Yeah, it works. Yeah, he should be... I want to try Yuri in Arena once I fully built him. I think it's going to be fun, but he's not going to replace anyone. Like, we have enough DPS unit for Arena already. And I've been using him for a while. Well, since he came out, since I've been testing him, I think he's good. I was using Axe and stuff. He's probably the most reliable skill 1 spammer. Right next to Lagrange, but I personally feel like Vayne, that rhymes, is pretty close. Maybe better, because he's got more survivability. I could try sparring myself. Let me just spar a few more teams. Who should I do? I don't know. But at this point, I'll just see what happens. I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna go wrong. I think Stahn can tank a few hits against Mikasa because Stahn can't take crits if you've got his paid armor. I think Stahn's gonna only hit Murren and he's not gonna do very much. Well, doing something. But the Blizzard is obviously a problem. Well, there's things as... Murren's dead, somehow. I wish Gorm would use Blizzard, but he can't right now. Huh, interesting. They're dead. That's pretty good. I'm quite impressed, not gonna lie. Because he's not doing the thing anymore where the skill 1's disappearing. That only happened on my phone. He's not doing it here. How much damage? 32,000. It's pretty good damage. Yuri is definitely a dual wield unit. Because you can tell, he has dual wield on it already. I don't think single wield on Yuri is a good idea. I mean, I don't know because I haven't tried it, but if any unit has dual wields already, or certain units, they can't really work single wield because dual wield increases their damage by a lot more. At this point you could probably make most units in the game to a single wield DPS, but it's not always a good idea. Well, I really got to try him out more in Arena. Well, in Arena soon. Yeah, he doesn't really have single wield bonuses, but you could add them. You could add like doppelganger and double hander and all that stuff. for single wield damage, but I don't think that's going to make up for the double hits and dual wield and damage bonus you can get from that. Like, you could put on dual wield and have a more weapon boost. Like, I like having a sword and a machine. You can have sword boost and machine boost, even more damage, negate some defense. I just think it's going to be good. I don't want to try Yuri in arena just yet. I'm going to do a few more tests on Stahn, and then I guess I'll leave it there for now. I don't know if I want to attack anyone right now, because it's going to go terribly wrong. I'm going to lose, because I don't really want to do auto, because it's going to go wrong on most teams. Who do I even want to hit? These easy teams are just tempting, because they give 3 points, but it's not why I'm here. Fine. I don't really want to try auto. I'm going to turn it off. Obviously Stahn. Oh, okay. Yeah, kind of expect that to happen. Try use a blizzard if possible, because you kind of need to. You're not using anything. Now skill 1 spam time. And everything for me. Nice, they're dying, Kill Gorm. He's dead. Very nice. I'm enjoying him so far in arena. I think it's pretty good. But would I use him over other units that we've got access to right now? I don't know, I don't think so. Probably not. But it could be used. Like, I was considering changing out the grain for Stahn in my defense, but I don't think I should do that, because I think that grain's probably better to stay as defense. So I'm just going to stick with what I got at the moment, and I'll try out Yuri when I get the chance to build him over the next 2 weeks or so. Yeah, people are trying him out, see. Maybe I could see what's going on, just press replay, see what happens. How has their Yuri's been doing? He's dead. Okay. Obviously I know how this goes because I won, but still. Okay. Yeah, I see. Great. Yuri is doing something. Not enough. Yeah, sometimes my defense does pretty well, but not all the time. If they're doing manual, they can just easily kill it. Easily. Because if you use a Lagravos skill 3 at the start, instantly before the other one can use it, then you know how it goes. Well, I think some people have Yuri built a bit more than me for the moment, because mine's not even built yet. I'm gonna spend the time to do that, but I'm gonna come back to that later in my own time. The stream has already been 2 hours, so we're kind of at the end of this. I don't know what else I can do at this point. I think I've tested everything I could. No rainbow potion today. Sad. Haven't gotten one in a little while. So, what do I think of Yuri at the moment? Well, I think he's pretty solid. I've been using that word a lot more recently, I think. I think he's pretty good. I don't think he's going to be as good as people were expecting him to be, because his trait 1 is a bit difficult to use and have his level 4, because level 4 gives 12,000 damage cap. It's a lot, but in most cases you're not going to be able to get level 4, especially if the enemies are weak. You can't have any of those buff active at all. So I think his damage is still pretty solid, still pretty good without the over limit buff. It's not required at all. It's just, yeah, he has a lot of damage potential that's locked behind the over limit buff, but think of it as a little bonus, I would say. His damage, when I was testing, seems pretty good, but most of his damage was good when I was hitting Slayer's damage. When he wasn't hitting Slayers, he wasn't hitting that high yet, but I don't have him built. He was only with base skills, and this arc has Earth Mega Drive that can be put on Yuri to increase his damage and damage cap even more. I think Earth Mega Drive is going to be very good on him, so Yuri with the arc works pretty well together. It's going to allow Yuri to do even better, but 2000 is again not a massive amount, but it's still a considerable amount, and it's on a skill, so it's something. It's not as good as like a Melee Mare or Lily Matter, because those were like crazy good. They were literally everything on that arc was related to that one unit. But this arc mostly just Earth Mega Drive and nothing else really that's aimed towards Yuri that could benefit him more, I think. So I think Yuri with this arc, I think they're pretty good, but it's up to you if you want to pull for them. And there's still part 1 up, and this banner is up for another 2 weeks, so you've got some time to save some crystals or do whatever you want. But everyone gets 1 unit from part 1 for free. You could try and pull on part 1 if you want, because it does have high chance to get something new, and Ultra Chronos is pretty good. I would say it's probably the best arc in this collab. So if you care about that, then try and pull on part 1 if you want. But if you're missing a lot of units and you're a newer player, any of these units are going to benefit you. So it's up to you, really. I can't say much more than that, because again, it's personal preference and depends on your account. But so far, I think Stahn and Luke are pretty good. So far they feel like they're better than Yuri, but I don't know yet. Maybe they're all just pretty similar, that there's no one really standing out, they're just all pretty high, they're all pretty good. So that's what I'm going to say about that. I've been enjoying this collab so far. There is going to be a time trial coming up, I think next week. So I've heard that some people have been getting unbanned, so there's going to be more competition in this time trial. But the problem with that is I don't have the time for this time trial, because I'm busy with doing work and Christmas coming up. So I'm not going to be able to do much in this time trial, but I'm going to try to get top 10, but I may not be able to achieve it this time round. We'll see. But potentially 1 or 2 of these collab units could be used in the time trial, because Stahn is pretty fast, but it requires enemies to be weak against fire. Well, weak against earth, I mean, to reach better damage potential, 20,000 damage cap more. So this collab's pretty interesting. I'm happy about this collab. I think it's a pretty good collab, because these are all like better than I was expecting, really. And there's some value here, I can see that for sure. Nothing as valuable as like Honey Elixir or Purple Orb, nothing like that. But anything you get from this collab is probably going to be valuable to your account, so I recommend to at least do a few summons and try and get something. And don't worry about missing a few things. I worry about it because I know that this collab might not come back, and I like having it because it could be useful in the future. And I've had it happen before where I've missed a specific thing like Purple Orb, and it's been very valuable when I didn't know. Yeah, Luke's pretty good. I've got to do more testing with him because I haven't built him fully yet. I built Stahn first. Yuri or Luke's going to be the second unit I build, I'll decide. Probably Yuri because he's the newest unit, we'll see. I've got to build both of them. It's going to take some time. I should be able to build them both in the next 2 weeks, hopefully. I've been teaching Luke a lot of skills, so I should have everything learnt already. Yeah, I think this collab's pretty good. There's not much more I can say about this. It's been 2 hours 10 minutes for the stream. I will add the timestamps later when I get the time. Maybe as soon as this ends, because I did that last time. but kind of a little break, then I'll come back to this and maybe add the timestamps later today. That's my plan, and then I'll start focusing on the events, building the units, and I'll be back like Terminator, but I'll be back in like 2 weeks for the next unit. Expect the next unit to be the Christmas unit with another Christmas limited arc, probably. There was a Christmas limited arc that I don't have, I think it was Santa Girls, that is pretty good, but I did get it because I didn't want to chase for it because I didn't feel like it was worth it. But I do want to get that arc now. Hopefully it should have a rerun and I can get some new stuff for Christmas. That's going to be good. So I'm going to be stocking up on crystals and saving for that. Everyone should do the same, but the collab is also important because it's also not going to come back for a long time, or not at all, we don't know. So think about it, of where you want to spend your crystals, and I think there's more value in the collab, maybe, because Christmas is going to come back in a year, but that's a long time to wait. So yeah, that's it for me. Hope everyone enjoys this collab. I can't really say anything more about this collab. I think it's good, and units are good, arcs are good, everything's good about this. So yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks, hopefully. I'm just going to be chilling out, doing my own thing, doing all the stuff I need to do. I would do videos, I just don't have the time and don't know what I want to do videos on. So I'll see you guys later in like 2 weeks. So bye.